Tonight, the RCMP and the SNC-Lavalin affair. Jody Wilson-Raybould tells CBC News she was contacted by police as the opposition pushes for a criminal investigation. New developments in the story that's rocked Ottawa weeks before the election. A Canadian woman's dramatic escape in New Zealand.
We are supporting the female victim, who is understandably very shocked and distressed.
The random attack that left her fiancé dead, and how she made it to safety. Hong Kong on edge. Protesters will fill the streets this weekend. How will China respond? We're on the ground. This is The National. We begin tonight with a new revelation in the SNC-Lavalin affair. Jody Wilson-Raybould telling CBC News the RCMP did give her a call, asking about the pressure she says she faced from the Prime Minister's office. The host of Power and Politics, Vashi Kapellos, takes us through how we found out and what it all could mean.
Just as soon as the Ethics Commissioner's report into the SNC-Lavalin controversy was released, the opposition started calling on the RCMP to investigate.
I certainly believe that there is enough evidence here to warrant an RCMP investigation.
The RCMP usually doesn't disclose whether it's launched an investigation, but following the ethics report, a spokesperson told CBC News the RCMP is examining this matter carefully with all available information and will take appropriate actions as required. That's a shift from this spring when Mounties refused to comment, prompting us to ask former Attorney General Jody Wilson-Raybould if the force had reached out to her.
I actually haven't seen what the RCMP has said today, but I leave any potential investigation in their capable hands.
They basically said that they usually never comment unless they lay charges, but they did tell the CBC that they're examining the matter carefully with all available information. They'll take appropriate actions as required. I'm just wondering, have they reached out to you at all in this?
They haven't reached out to me on this, no.
A day later, though, a clarification. Wilson-Raybould now says her denial was in reference to whether the RCMP had contacted her since the release of the report on Wednesday, which she says they haven't. However, after clarifying with the RCMP, I can confirm that I was contacted by them this past spring regarding matters that first came to the public's attention on February 7, 2019, in a Globe and Mail article. The matter the former Attorney General is referring to is the pressure put on her by the Prime Minister to intervene in SNC-Lavalin's criminal case. Pressure, she said, was highly inappropriate. This week, the Ethics Commissioner agreed. Wilson-Raybould, though, would not elaborate on the content of her call with the RCMP, so it's still unclear if an investigation was ever launched or if one is currently underway.
And Vashi joins us now from Ottawa. So an important point, Vashi, we don't know if an investigation is underway, but what is it that the opposition wants the RCMP to investigate?
Well, the Conservatives are saying this amounts to obstruction of justice, and particularly something that came out of the Ethics Commissioner's report gives them those clues, they say, and that is that a number of people, he says, came to his office and said, we have relevant information, but they couldn't put it forward to him because it was covered by cabinet confidences, and the Prime Minister and the Clerk of the Privy Council didn't waive those confidences. So Conservatives say that amounts to obstruction of justice, and that's what they want the RCMP to investigate.
So at this point, all we know is that Jody Wilson-Raybould is saying that the RCMP contacted her in the spring. But even if that's all we find out, what might the political impact of that be?
Yeah, it is potentially politically damaging. And I should note that the Prime Minister's office says that nobody in their office has been contacted by the RCMP. So we really don't know if an investigation has been launched. But the specter of one. Think back to 2006 when one was launched in the election there, or 2015 when Mike Duffy's criminal trial was taking place following an RCMP investigation. Just the specter of those really hit the political parties involved very hard. And you can bet the Liberals right now are looking at the idea of an RCMP investigation, even the chance of one, which is higher today than it was yesterday, and thinking, let's hope that doesn't happen this time around. They are worried about it, certainly. Ian?
Power and Politics host Vashi Kapellos, thank you. And we'll have more from Ottawa still ahead. The fallout from the ethics report hits former Supreme Court justices, while the Liberals try to turn the page. Those stories in about 15 minutes. An arrest in New Zealand tonight in what police describe as a random shooting that sent a Canadian woman fleeing for her life. Bianca Buckley survived. Her fiancé, Australian Sean McKinnon, did not. The attack happened while the two slept in a camper van on New Zealand's North Island, about 2 hours south of Auckland. It's an area known for its stunning views, but as Tom Murphy reports, the violence that happened there yesterday has left people shocked.
They were the picture of a fun-loving couple. But the image of their shot-out camper van and police combing it for clues near the coastal town of Raglan depicts a night of terror.
At approximately 3:20 a.m, police were notified that an offender had approached a van and shots were fired.
Bianca Buckley, originally of Halifax, awoke to a commotion. Her Australian fiancé, Sean McKinnon, was injured in what police are calling a random attack. Police say Buckley escaped on bare foot and ran for her life down a gravel road and through thick brush to seek help. The shooter got behind the wheel and took off. The van was later found near the village of Gordonton, 75 kilometers away. McKinnon's dead body was still inside.
The police are dedicated in regards to keeping our community safe.
Hours later, police made an arrest after tips from the public. A 23-year-old local man is now facing charges, including murder and aggravated robbery. Some comfort to Buckley.
She is obviously shocked and traumatised in regards to it. She is thankful that an arrest within a 24-hour period has occurred in regards to it, and we're working with her and her family, and we'll continue to be in touch with her around her welfare.
Well, it's a shock for community-wise, and it's certainly a shock for the nation of New Zealand.
Buckley, a midwife working in New Zealand, and McKinnon were avid surfers. And in Nova Scotia, where Buckley used to serve at this restaurant and surf in these waves, there's concern.
We see a lot of people surf camping. It's maybe a bucket list item for a lot of surfers. It's something we've all done at some point in different places around the world. And yeah, to think that that's something to be feared now is really unsettling.
I'm pretty sure the community will rally and offer whatever support we can, even though it's quite far away, but like she obviously has this community to come to for support.
Consular officials are offering Buckley whatever assistance they can in New Zealand, and her family back home in Canada says they're devastated, calling it an absolutely unbelievable event. Tom Murphy, CBC News, Halifax.
Let's turn now to what could be another violent and chaotic weekend in Hong Kong as protesters prepare to face off with police once again. It's been reasonably quiet in the city for a couple of days, but as many as 1 million people could hit the streets this weekend. Chris Brown sets the stage for us tonight.
What could be a pivotal weekend for Hong Kong's pro-democracy movement began with loud calls for freedom from what many here see as creeping authoritarianism from China.
This is the flag of Hong Kong before 1997, and we like to tell the world we are not only part of China, we have our own culture, we have our own system.
Thousands of young people have come out chanting "Fight for Freedom" and carrying signs that say "Reclaim Hong Kong," and also hearing calls from speakers that the international community must get more involved and take their side. The speakers urged foreign democracies to stop sitting on the sidelines and to not be afraid of angering China. In a movement with few recognizable leaders, Joshua Wong is an exception. Just 23, he's already been leading pro-democracy demonstrations here for almost a decade. He talked to us earlier in the day.
I hope world leaders could send a clear message to President Xi Jinping. Don't send the troops to Hong Kong to suppress armed protesters, and that's not the way out.
While the student protesters have had the best attended demonstrations, the other side is having rallies too. We're here to support the police, this woman told us, as she came to a rally aimed at pushing Hong Kong authorities to do more to end the political unrest.
I think right now the whole Hong Kong economy, and especially our tourism trade, has been seriously affected.
On this night, police watched quietly from the sidelines and insisted today they are in total control, though no doubt wary of the even larger demonstrations and rallies ahead.
Personally, I'll be very busy. I'll be joining every rally and every meetings. Tomorrow there's a teachers meeting, and then on Sunday there's a big gathering in Victoria Park. I'm going to go to all of them.
And Chris is with us from Hong Kong tonight. Chris, give us a sense of what's at stake this weekend.
Well, Ian, with the violence that we saw out at the airport earlier this week, violence that the protesters themselves apologized for, the question is, to what extent does this pro-democracy movement here really have broad support? Not to mention the fact that people in Hong Kong have been dealing with these disruptions now for over 3 months. So organizers have talked about hoping to get between 500,000 and 1 million people out to that big demonstration on Sunday. If they don't get that, some people are going to look at that and see, well, perhaps support is ebbing. Ian.
Okay, Chris, we'll be watching this weekend. Thank you. And as Chris mentioned, it's not just the demonstrators who have a carefully crafted message. Beijing is also fighting to win hearts and minds. The Chinese government strategy seems to be an effort to undercut the movement's legitimacy however possible. Much of the news coming out of the Hong Kong airport this week is focused on an urgent defense of democracy. But reporting by some of China's most popular news channels was noticeably different. State media describing the protests as something out of a horror film, where a mainland journalist was tortured and the elderly harassed.
I think in the past few days, the strategy to try to emphasize on the wrongdoing of the Hong Kong protesters, that's why they try to use the term, say, terrorism or torture.
King Wa-fu says Chinese state media is focused on discrediting the message of the protesters, including their outrage over police violence. Anger spiked after a medic was shot in the eye, but the state broadcaster says protesters were responsible for her injury, even suggesting the incident was a hoax paid for by demonstrators.
This basically is an ungrounded claim, and it already found to be untrue. But these kinds of story was circulated widely in China.
He says state media is also reporting large public support for the police.
The Hong Kong police force is probably one of the best police forces in the world.
And Fu says it's not just state media managing the narrative, it's also politicians. Consider a statement made by Chief Executive Carrie Lam accusing protesters of damaging the economy.
They did not mind destroying Hong Kong's economy. They have no stake in the society which so many people have helped to build. This is also the consensus view of 33 members from the business sector.
But not everyone's buying that. The following day, a group described as members of the financial sector shot back, saying it was misleading for the government to blame protesters for an unrelated economic slowdown that started before the unrest began. Some other stories we're following tonight on The National. Jeffrey Epstein's death has officially been ruled suicide. In a short statement, the New York medical examiner said the financier hanged himself in his jail cell early Saturday morning. Epstein was facing multiple charges of child trafficking and sexual abuse. The U.S. Justice Department has launched an investigation.
A queue like I've never seen before in my life. The queues just went round and round and round and round and round and round.
Thousands of travelers faced lengthy delays today as U.S. Customs was hit with a widespread computer outage. Toronto's Pearson also affected on the airport's busiest day of the year. The system is now back online. And some sad news out of Hollywood tonight. Actor Peter Fonda has died after a battle with lung cancer. He was the son of Hollywood legend Henry Fonda and a brother to Jane Fonda. Peter, best known for writing and starring in the counterculture classic Easy Rider. The 79-year-old died at his home in L.A. this morning. Israel appeared to soften its stance today against one of two U.S. congresswomen it barred from visiting the country yesterday. It announced it will allow Michigan's Rashida Tlaib to visit her family in the West Bank, framing it as a humanitarian move. But as Ellen Morrow reports, that's not how Tlaib sees it.
Oppressive, the word Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib used to describe Israel's conditions. In a statement she wrote, "I will not allow the Israeli government to humiliate me or my family or take away our right to speak out." Tlaib's planned official visit with Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was blocked by Israel, following pressure from President Trump.
They are very anti-Jewish and they're very anti-Israel. I think it's disgraceful.
Israel's prime minister pointed to the Congresswoman's support of the Boycott Israel movement. "We're not willing to accept people who work to delegitimize the Jewish state," said Benjamin Netanyahu. Tlaib then wrote the Israeli government, asking for a personal visit to see her 90-year-old grandmother in the West Bank. She wrote she would respect any restrictions and not promote boycotts while there. Israel said yes, but Tlaib, who accuses the country of human rights abuses in its treatment of Palestinians, changed her mind, with the support of relatives she now won't see. "We are against the conditional visit," said Tlaib's uncle. Meanwhile, President Trump accused Tlaib of grandstanding and a setup. Last month, the Democrat-led House voted overwhelmingly to condemn the boycott movement, a resolution the rookie Congresswoman denounced. There's unity, though, in condemnation of Israel banning an official visit from 2 U.S. lawmakers, even from the country's staunch supporters.
It's contrary to the values of the State of Israel, the values of the United States of America, which have been the underlying foundation of our relationship.
There are questions, too, about politics. Did President Trump pressure a foreign country to punish lawmakers because they're critical of him at home? Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Washington.
So a little clarity on exactly why Israel barred the Congresswoman from making an official visit. Essentially, it's because of their support for a Palestinian-led boycott movement known as BDS, Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions. Its goal to put economic and political pressure on Israel. Critics say it's an anti-Semitic attempt to delegitimize the country. Ilhan Omar and Tlaib were just 2 of 17 Congress members who voted against a resolution condemning the movement. And by Israeli law, BDS supporters can be denied entry into the country. Lots more ahead on tonight's National. Something weird is happening off the coast of Nova Scotia. Why the appearance of these fish could spell trouble. Plus, why aren't there more women on country music radio?
I was surprised at how bad it is. So looking at the year-end charts between 2000 and 2018, there is a 66% decline in the number of women, which is strikingly terrible.
And with no play, less pay. How it's costing female artists in lost opportunities. But first, in case you missed it, U.S. President Donald Trump seems interested once again in some real estate. According to a new Wall Street Journal report, he's got eyes for the world's biggest island, Greenland. Trump has reportedly asked his advisors several times about buying the self-governing Danish territory outright, the appeal, natural resources, and its strategically valuable location. The response was immediate and unfavorable. The former Danish PM wonders if it's just a mid-August April Fool's Day prank. Greenland officials were more direct. We're open for business, not for sale. The former American ambassador to Denmark even called the idea a complete and total catastrophe. Now, to be fair, one of the advisors cited in the report says Trump was only joking, but even if he's not, it wouldn't be unprecedented. After all, the U.S. purchased Louisiana from the French in 1803 and Alaska from the Russians in 1867. And it does have a long-standing military presence in Greenland. The Thule Air Force Base still in operation since it was built during the Second World War to defend the island from the Nazis. Perhaps we'll find out if Trump was serious at all when he visits Denmark next month. Let's return to our top story now. Jody Wilson-Raybould telling CBC News she was interviewed by the RCMP. That caps off a week of dramatic revelations in the SNC-Lavalin affair. In a minute, how the Liberals are trying to turn the page with a new billion-dollar announcement weeks before the election. But first, how a scandal rooted in the heart of Canada's justice system is raising serious questions about those at the very top of it. Wednesday's ethics report put the spotlight on the work done by retired Supreme Court justices, and one defended his role to Olivia Stefanovich today.
If I could see the harm, I'd be very anxious to correct the harm. My problem is I don't see harm.
Perplexed by questions about his involvement with the SNC-Lavalin affair, former Supreme Court Justice John Major raises his own.
The judge is retired, he's now a lawyer, he's asked for a legal opinion, and he gives a legal opinion. I mean, what causes the anxiety?
Major was named along with former Supreme Court Justice Frank Iacobucci in this week's bombshell ethics report. They were sought by SNC-Lavalin to provide legal advice to avoid criminal prosecution. Former Chief Justice Beverly McLaughlin was approached by both SNC and the Prime Minister's office. Jody Wilson-Raybould sought out a retired justice of her own. Thomas Cromwell advised her on the limits of solicitor-client privilege. While none of this is illegal, this expert says the problem is perception.
The important line between independent judges and the world of politics seems to be blurred a little bit. While they are no longer on the court, I think a lot of people would see them as still being representative of the court.
He says justices working after leaving the bench is a relatively recent phenomenon.
I think many of them are not wanting to simply sit around in the rocking chair kind of approach to retirement.
The Canadian Judicial Council is examining what, if any, employment judges should engage in after they retire. Major agrees that retired Supreme Court justices shouldn't appear in court, but says a ban on practicing law would go too far.
Say to a retired judge, you should be a mute, seems to me to be a little extreme.
That's the bigger consideration the Judicial Council will have to weigh as it prepares to issue new ethical guidelines for judges next year. Olivia Stefanovich, CBC News, Ottawa.
It appears the Liberals tried to change the channel from the SNC-Lavalin affair today with a $1.75 billion aid package. As Ashley Burke tells us, the money is for a specific industry, announced in a specific province for a specific reason.
It's emptier these days at Peter Reuter's dairy farm. He recently sold 5 cows and blames, in part, Canada's recent trade deals with the EU and the Pacific Rim countries.
I'm losing about $20,000 a year on the trade, on the imports that were coming into Canada. And so, you know, that hurts.
But today the government followed through with a promise to help Reuter and other dairy farmers.
I'm pleased to announce that the federal government will make available $1.75 billion over 8 years to Canada's nearly 11,000 dairy producers.
The location for the announcement was strategic, a Quebec farm, the heart of Canada's dairy industry, and a key battleground in the upcoming election. Agriculture Minister Mary-Claude Bibeau heralded the Liberals as the protectors of supply management and said concessions would have been worse under the Conservatives.
The Andrew Scheer Conservatives were asking us day after day in the House of Commons to sign the new NAFTA, while dismantling the supply management system was still on the negotiation table.
Today's announcement echoed a promise made by the previous government, though, which the Conservatives were quick to point out.
Essentially, it took 4 years for the Liberals to come forward with the exact same plan that Stephen Harper came forward with just before the last election.
Farmers like Reuter are happy the government's stepping in, but aren't blind to the politics at play.
And I think they're trolling for votes. That's what it turns down to.
Reuter's just glad he'll get a check to help cover his losses. The average farm expected to receive about $20,000 a year.
We are the industry that gave up the most to get this deal signed. And it's just a sign that they're trying to compensate us fairly.
But what he really wants is to produce more milk, not take government handouts. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
Still ahead on tonight's National, gender and country music, how female artists are ready to turn up the dial.
I think it is ridiculous that country programmers say women don't want to hear women. Come to my shows and watch every girl sing every word.
Stand by it, man.
From Tammy to Dolly, Reba,
man, I feel like a woman,
to Shania. The history of country music is full of female superstars. They've been some of the genre's most awarded acts. And today, artists like Carrie Underwood and Miranda Lambert continue to sell out stadiums.
got a real good feeling, something bad about to happen.
But on country radio, some female artists say their voices have been muted in favor of their male counterparts. And a Canadian academic says she's got the stats to prove they're right. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson on the fight for representation.
More than just a country music fan, Professor Jada Watson is now a champion of many women in country. In her recent study, Watson dug into the country charts, looking at how much airplay female artists get on American country radio stations.
I was surprised at how bad it is. So looking at the year-end charts between 2000 and 2018, there was a 66% decline in the number of women from 33.3% to 11.3%, which is strikingly terrible.
And that puts female singers at a huge disadvantage.
So if you're not going to get radio airplay, you're not going to be signed to labels, you won't get publishing deals, songwriters won't be asked to write for women, women won't get spots on festival tours.
While the numbers speak for themselves, just why this is happening is a little more complex. Some radio programmers say there's just fewer female artists out there than male artists, especially signed to major labels.
And I attribute that to content.
This veteran radio consultant says there's another reason women aren't getting airplay.
I don't believe there's a hidden agenda in the country music industry to keep females down.
He says what's played on country radio has simply been a reflection of audience tastes.
We have a cyclical nature to the format. Every 10 or 12 years, it kind of changes. And the most recent was the derisively called bro country movement. Girls in short shorts and pickup trucks and beer cans and moonlight and those things. It's tough for a female artist to sing about those things.
But Carly Pierce says she doesn't need to sing about that. The crowds at her shows prove that country listeners, who include slightly more women than men, have diverse tastes.
I think it is ridiculous that country programmers will not play back-to-back women, that they say women don't want to hear women. Come to my shows and watch every girl sing every word.
To women singing women's songs.
Many female stars are teaming up to help change that system. Some are choosing other female artists to tour with.
I'm on a tour this year with, it's Miranda Lambert's tour, and it's me, Tenille Townes, Kaylee Hammock, Elle King, Maren Morris, the Pistol Annies. There's room for all of us on a tour, then there's room for all of us on a radio.
Others are achieving great success on streaming platforms where their fans can hear them as many times as they want, ushering in a new generation of country sisterhood whose anthem just might be Stand By Your Woman. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Oro-Medonte, Ontario.
Just ahead, our northern Canadian town is slowly eroding because of climate change.
I've got no time to waste.
What do you fear?
Well, I fear that my house can fall into the ocean.
Susan Ormiston explores the effects of a thawing permafrost. Changing land and changing oceans. Earth warms, some of the aspects of Canadian life that were once so certain aren't anymore. We have two examples of that tonight. One, the shifting ground of the Canadian North, affecting everything from foundations to roads. The other, new, colorful creatures now swimming off the coast of Nova Scotia. Shayna Luck starts us off there.
After 23 years of diving, this is not what Lloyd Bond expected to find off the coast of Nova Scotia.
They were just all right off this wharf. Like, there's butterfly fish for the last couple of years. They're directly under this wharf.
Vibrant butterfly fish, tropical seahorses, species he's seen in Mexico but never thought he'd see at home. He suits up a couple times a week, always taking along his underwater cameras.
I remember my first butterfly fish that I seen. I've only seen one the whole year, and then the following year I seen about 10 of them, and then last year I seen about 20 of them. And not only one location, I seen them in multiple locations.
Bond moves slowly, creeping up on the fish, which are often no bigger than a loonie. He believes he's seeing tropical fish because the cold North Atlantic waters are changing. Federal scientists agree. They say pulses of warm subtropical waters are pushing cold Arctic waters back and carrying small stowaways north.
They're just being transported with the water, and it's not like they're coming up here because it's warm water. They're coming with the warm water.
So far this year, DFO measurements show water temperatures aren't abnormally high, but that comes on the heels of several years of rising water temperatures, including last year, which broke temperature records from Nova Scotia to Newfoundland. The waters outside Halifax are more rugged coastline than tropical paradise. For now, it's unlikely the tropical fish stand a chance at competing with the hardier local species.
You're really happy to see them, but it's kind of bittersweet because you know they're going to die off like the first cold snap. As soon as the water gets cold, usually a couple days later, everything's gone.
An unnatural and temporary beauty. Shayna Luck, CBC News, Prospect, Nova Scotia.
To the north now, nearly half of Canada sits on permafrost, a once solid foundation to life in the Canadian Arctic. But now it's melting. The ground is shifting. Tonight, we revisit Susan Ormiston's trip there, where people are rethinking about how to build infrastructure in the future.
Hidden inside an historic church above the Arctic Circle is a story of our warming climate.
Be careful, watch your step. Low ceiling as well, and dark.
Parishioner Joe Lavoie offered to show us what you normally can't see.
I've been here for over 30 years and never seen a problem until these last 5 years. Of course, you can see all the poles that have fallen down. And if you look to that side, you see the gap underneath the blocking and the post.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We've blocked and reblocked several times. One time it was a funeral service going on. There was approximately 200 people attending, and the floor was shaking pretty bad. And so after the service, I asked the father if we should maybe come take a look. And about 50% of these posts were down.
Holy cow.
Right.
The Igloo Church, as it's called, was built on top of thick layers of earth and solid ice. But that concealed permafrost is now thawing, threatening the church's foundation.
Joe, standing here, you can even see it's kind of sloping.
Right. Yes, I'd say probably it's down a downward slope of 3 to 4 inches minimum, maybe even more.
Wow.
Yeah. And I could roll a marble here.
You sure don't want it to collapse.
Absolutely not. Yeah, that for sure, that would be a real tragedy.
The Inuvialuit have been living on ice for centuries, but the town Inuvik was only incorporated in 1961. Tradition is baked into their culture, just like the certainty of 24-hour sunlight in summer and a dark, frozen landscape in winter. But ask anyone here, the Western Arctic is warming faster than anywhere else in Canada, mean temperatures rising a staggering 3.5 degrees over 50 years. Most of the Western Arctic is underpinned by icy permafrost, and as it degrades, it's causing all kinds of challenges. A big river. The climate is not just warmer here, it's wetter. We're motoring up a branch of the Mackenzie River, which in winter is an ice highway. Chris Byrne has been coming up here for 36 years. He's professor of geography at Carleton University and works with the Aurora Research Institute. Byrne wanted to show us the dramatic changes in the Caribou Hills at an old camp called Reindeer Station. Walking the plank, man. Yep. First, we have to navigate the landing.
There's about 90 meters of permafrost below us here.
And some of that is thawing.
The top of that is thawing.
Years ago, this was a Hudson's Bay trading post, solidly built like everything else on buried ice. But that scar in the hill was recently carved by a landslide, After heavy rain at the end of a summer, the warming earth simply gave way.
This is basically where the landslide finished.
And this wasn't the only one that night?
No. There's 87 other landslides from that night in about 17 kilometers of hillside. So it was a phenomenal event.
This is a remote retreat now. No one lives here permanently, but the changing geography is the same in populated areas.
We have to figure out what we're going to do in the future. And we have no basis to believe that this will not continue. It won't stop now. So then, when we make an investment in a building which is meant to last 50 years, if in 15 years it's no good, we've wasted a huge amount of resources.
Inuvik is adapting. An above-ground sewer system is being retrofitted. Flexible space frames prop up some housing, but it is patchwork. Back in the 60s, when Inuvik was built, permafrost seemed a more reliable, solid core.
We said we'd open roads into the north.
It was Prime Minister John Diefenbaker's dream.
Resources should be made available for the people of Canada.
A northern road linking southern Canada to the Arctic, a road to resources. The Dempster Highway finally opened in 1979, a construction marvel, over 700 kilometers of tundra. But every year, it costs more to upgrade the highway. Climate change over the last 15 years has pushed up costs by the millions.
It's kind of like the lifeblood of the Western Arctic.
Steve Cookell is with the Northwest Territories Geological Survey. He's been up and down the Dempster for a decade.
Yeah, the Dempster Highway is built pretty much entirely over permafrost terrain. So the frozen ground beneath the road embankment provides a foundation for the embankment, and the actual road itself has a frozen core.
But this plateau is warmer and wetter now, and the highway is showing fatigue.
So clearly, Steve, the Dempster is falling off here. There's a big hole in the side of the road.
Yeah, this is a location. We have a slope where water is collecting along the side of the road, and the combination of warming climate, the impact of the road, and the moisture is causing the underlying ice-rich permafrost to thaw. And as that ice-rich permafrost thaws, the ground consolidates or settles proportional to how much ice there is in the ground. And this is one of the consequences of that.
Now, you told me that across here, this happened on the other side of the road first.
Yes.
Steve explains that load after load of gravel has been dumped into this subsidence just to keep the highway open, but it keeps sliding off, leading to a key question.
Do we fix it, or do we start to adapt differently?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really interesting and important discussion. It really emphasizes or highlights the need to start to think innovatively about the solutions, because these types of phenomena are going to become more and more commonplace.
He's not finished our permafrost lesson. A few kilometers down the road, we clamber up to a high ridge.
This whole area here has developed over the last couple of years, which is very, very rapid.
The head wall here has been carved out, exposing a wide band of ice.
So the bottom 5 to 8 meters is all ice.
So that's what's thawing.
That is exactly what's thawing, yeah.
Constant thawing is creating a gully of mud, pushing toward the Dempster Highway, which in time could compromise the road.
We've had this debris tongue that's grown about 150 meters towards the road. That's developed in the last 2 years.
Canada's permafrost problem has become a hot research environment. A recent Senate report identified northern infrastructure as an urgent priority. The challenge is luring international scientists and students, like this university team, on a field trip to study the ice under the tundra. Traveling further north on a new highway, we head towards Tuktoyaktuk on the Beaufort Sea. I made it to Tuk as a traveler's badge of honor, but this hamlet has become a climate change crucible.
Going forward, we're just not building anywhere near the coast anymore. We're slowly moving our infrastructure inland.
Mervyn Gruben, the mayor of Tuk, grew up here.
But it's there. See all the ice, the land that's melting?
Out on the point, Gruben's ancestors are buried now perilously close to the sea.
My grandfather Edgar, my grandmother Mary, she died young.
The cemetery's vulnerable. With more erosion, it could fall into the ocean. But moving graves is a last resort.
I don't know. Like the whole circumpolar north is sitting on permafrost, so I don't know what you do. You can't insulate the whole north.
The dual threats of rising seas and thawing permafrost are undeniable to Sandy Adam, a homeowner in Tuk.
You could see the land eroding.
His house is exposed right near the rocky edge. In 50 years, he's watched that coast steadily erode.
How far out did the shoreline go?
Right to about the middle of the ocean. I mean, where the open water is. That's how far the land used to be. Here, it's really happening fast. We've got no time to waste.
What do you fear?
Well, I fear that my house can fall into the ocean.
His house is on an emergency list to be moved inland. 5 others already have.
I guess they gotta move me. Gotta move me where I don't want to go, but can't be helped.
Why don't you want to go?
I'm used to living at the point. And the cool air comes from the ocean when it's summertime, and you don't get as much bugs as inland, and it's better out here.
Coastal erosion could cost Tuktoyaktuk up to $50 million, a budget it doesn't have.
Hello, here we are. We made it to Tuk.
Environment Minister Catherine McKenna, on a recent trip to Tuk, was pressed to increase support for climate change costs.
Welcome to Tuk.
Thank you.
Mayor Gruben.
Oh, hey, Mayor. How you doing?
So one of the things they say here is, look, we've studied this enough. We've lived it. We can't afford the infrastructure changes that are happening in the Arctic.
Well, I mean, we've already made investments and continue to make investments, but we are going to have to rethink how we build things and how do we build resilient infrastructure. We're going to need to work together and also really try to imagine what the future is going to be like so that, you know, that communities are resilient to the impacts of climate change.
In this land of pingos and permafrost, change has already come. Susan Ormiston, CBC News, Tuktoyaktuk.
Just ahead, on the 50th anniversary, peace, love, and hugging it up at Woodstock. The story behind one of the most famous photographs in pop culture and the Canadian woman who says that's her in the picture. Our moment gets down and groovy. A young couple wrapped in each other's arms under a muddy blanket on Max Yasgur's farm precisely 5 decades ago this weekend. How could they have known this simple photo would go on to symbolize the defining music event of a generation? That picture, of course, was from Woodstock in 1969, and it has its own unique story. Tonight we hear from the woman who says that was her in that blanket 50 years ago. Her memory is our moment.
You could just look at me and say, well, you're nuts, Jessie, that it's not you. But I know it's me. I met a guy in Montreal, hitchhiked down to Woodstock, had a good time, we had a nice time together, and then took off back to Vancouver. When that picture was taken, we had been caught in the rain and we weren't properly dressed, but it wasn't cold. My mother had helped me make the dress that I was wearing. It was made from an Indian bedspread. I wore it a lot. It was kind of the cool thing to wear in those days. A few of my friends knew, my family knew, but it was something I kept quiet because I was a school teacher. There was mud everywhere and Yeah, it was a mess. And I think when we left, it was a mess. Yeah, it was a disaster zone, but it was a really pleasant disaster zone. If John is still alive, I would love to hear from him.
All right, John, it's in your court now. You have to give Jesse a call. I remember reading that if everybody who said they were at Woodstock was actually at Woodstock, there would have been 5 million people on that farm. Instead, there were 500,000. She clearly was one of them. And by the way, guess how much it cost for this 4-day concert? Jimi Hendrix, you saw all these luminaries in music at the time. $20 for 4 days. And apparently, Jesse says the guys that were collecting the tickets didn't even ask for the money. Anyway, that is The National for this Friday, August 16th. Good night.